Imagine waking up one morning and noticing that your toes feel colder than usual. The skin looks slightly pale. Weeks go by, and the color darkens. You ignore it, thinking it's just poor circulation from aging. But slowly, the tissue begins to die, a painful, life-altering condition called necrosis. Necrosis isn't just a scary word, it's a silent destroyer. It happens when blood flow to your tissues is blocked or reduced for too long, starving them of oxygen and nutrients. In severe cases, it can lead to amputation. And for seniors, especially those with diabetes, high cholesterol, or heart disease, the risk is much higher than you might think. But here's what most people don't know: your daily diet could be slowly feeding this process. You might think you're just eating what you always have, but certain foods, over time, can quietly damage your blood vessels, stiffen your arteries, raise inflammation, and sabotage the very circulation your legs depend on. Today, we'll uncover 7 foods that could slowly push your legs toward necrosis, foods that might seem harmless, even normal, but which science shows can contribute to this dangerous condition. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what to avoid, but also what to replace them with, so your legs stay strong, warm, and healthy for years to come. This isn't just about food, it's about independence, mobility, and quality of life. So if you care about keeping your legs healthy and avoiding long-term complications, stay with me until the end, because point number 6 is a food you probably eat every week, and it's far more damaging than you think. Processed meats such as bacon, sausages, salami, ham, pepperoni, and hot dogs are some of the most harmful foods for anyone concerned about the health of their legs, but for seniors, they can be especially dangerous. These foods are heavily processed to increase shelf life and flavor, but that processing involves adding large amounts of saturated fat, sodium, and preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. Saturated fats are well known for raising LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol, which is sticky and prone to attaching itself to the inner walls of arteries, forming plaque. Over time, plaque buildup narrows the blood vessels that feed your legs and feet, restricting the supply of oxygen-rich blood that keeps tissues alive. Sodium is another major culprit. The high salt content in processed meats raises blood pressure, which stiffens arteries and damages their delicate inner lining. Damaged arteries become even more vulnerable to narrowing and blockage. Then there are nitrates and nitrites, which give processed meats their pink color and distinctive flavor. Inside the body, these compounds can convert into nitrosamines, toxic chemicals that directly harm the endothelium, the thin layer of cells lining the blood vessels. This triple threat, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and chemical vessel damage, creates the perfect storm for poor leg circulation. When the arteries are already narrowed by age or conditions like diabetes, any injury to the foot or lower leg will heal much more slowly. Without enough oxygen and nutrients reaching the tissue, a small wound can become infected, and in an oxygen-starved environment, infection can spread and tissue death, necrosis, can occur. Scientific evidence supports these dangers. A Harvard study tracking over 37,000 men found that those who regularly ate processed meats had a 42% higher risk of heart disease, a condition that often goes hand in hand with peripheral artery disease, the major driver of necrosis in the legs. The good news is that replacing processed meats with healthier options can protect your circulation. Choose lean, skinless poultry baked or grilled without added salt, oily fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation, or plant-based proteins such as lentils, chickpeas, and beans. If cutting out processed meat completely feels daunting, start small, replace half your processed meat servings each week with fresh, unprocessed proteins. Even these small changes reduce your intake of artery-damaging substances, lower blood pressure, improve vessel function, and ultimately help keep your legs warm, healthy, and free from the creeping danger of necrosis. Sugary beverages including sodas, sweetened iced teas, packaged fruit juices, and energy drinks might seem harmless, but they can quietly devastate your circulation. These drinks are packed with refined sugar, often in the form of high-fructose corn syrup, which is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream. This causes a sudden and sharp spike in blood sugar, forcing the pancreas to release a large amount of insulin to bring glucose levels back down. Over years, these repeated spikes contribute to insulin resistance, the hallmark of type 2 diabetes, and damage to the microscopic capillaries that supply blood to your extremities. In seniors, the danger is magnified because natural healing processes are slower, and many already have reduced circulation due to aging arteries. Chronically high blood sugar also fuels systemic inflammation, which further weakens the blood vessel walls and makes them less able to expand and contract efficiently. Over time, these effects lead to narrowing of the arteries in the legs, a condition called peripheral artery disease, PAD. PAD severely limits the oxygen supply to leg tissues, which means that even a small cut or blister on your foot can fail to heal properly. If infection sets in and blood flow remains inadequate, necrosis can develop, often leading to partial or complete limb amputation. The American Diabetes Association warns that people with diabetes are 10 to 15 times more likely to require lower limb amputations due to this very process. Avoiding sugary beverages is one of the simplest yet most powerful steps you can take to protect your circulation. Replace them with water infused with lemon slices, cucumber, or mint leaves to add flavor without sugar. Herbal teas without added sweeteners can also provide variety and health benefits, such as improved digestion or reduced inflammation. For those who crave sweetness, try making smoothies from fresh berries, spinach, and unsweetened almond milk. The natural fiber in whole fruits slows sugar absorption, preventing blood sugar spikes and protecting your arteries. Over time, your taste buds will adjust, and you'll find that overly sweet drinks lose their appeal. This change will not only lower your risk of necrosis but also protect your heart, brain, and kidneys from the damaging effects of high blood sugar and inflammation. Refined white bread, pastries, and other baked goods made from white flour may feel comforting, but they can silently erode your vascular health. White flour is heavily processed, stripping away the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that slow digestion and keep blood sugar stable. When you eat refined bread or pastries, your body rapidly converts them into glucose, causing a quick and pronounced spike in blood sugar. These surges trigger a release of insulin, and over time, repeated surges damage the inner lining of arteries, promote inflammation, and raise triglyceride levels, all factors that contribute to the formation of artery-clogging plaque. For seniors, who may already have reduced arterial flexibility and some level of plaque buildup, the impact is more severe. Damaged arteries in the legs mean less oxygen-rich blood reaches the tissues, slowing the healing process for even minor injuries. Without enough oxygen, tissues become more vulnerable to infection, and in the worst cases, these infections progress to necrosis. Studies have shown that diets high in refined grains increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes, both of which are closely linked to peripheral artery disease. The healthier alternative is to choose whole grains that contain the bran, germ, and endosperm, all parts of the grain that provide fiber and nutrients. Whole grain bread, brown rice, steel-cut oats, and quinoa release glucose more slowly, preventing sharp blood sugar spikes and protecting the arterial lining from damage. Seniors who enjoy baking can replace at least half of the white flour in recipes with oat flour or whole wheat flour, which increases the fiber content and slows digestion. Even small shifts toward whole grains can improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and help safeguard leg health for the long term. Deep-fried foods such as French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, donuts, and battered fish might be deliciously crispy, but they are among the most damaging foods for your arteries and, ultimately, your legs. These foods are typically cooked in oils that have been heated to high temperatures repeatedly. When oil is reused and overheated, it undergoes chemical changes that produce trans fats and harmful free radicals. Trans fats are notorious for raising LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that clogs arteries, while lowering HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol that helps clear excess fat from your bloodstream. Free radicals, on the other hand, directly damage the cells lining your arteries, causing inflammation and making it easier for plaque to form. Over time, this combination of higher LDL, lower HDL, and inflamed artery walls accelerates atherosclerosis, the narrowing and hardening of arteries. For seniors, this is especially dangerous because many already have reduced circulation from age-related changes in blood vessels, and deep-fried foods can push them over the edge into significant arterial blockages. Reduced blood flow to the legs means less oxygen delivery to the tissues, making it harder for wounds to heal. Even a small cut or blister on the foot can become a gateway for infection, and in an oxygen-starved environment, infection can spread quickly, leading to necrosis. The problem is compounded by the fact that deep-fried foods are often coated in refined flour or breadcrumbs, which add to the blood sugar spikes that damage arteries. To protect your circulation, replace deep-fried meals with healthier cooking methods such as baking, roasting, steaming, or air frying. These methods create a satisfying crisp texture without the artery-clogging oils. For example, oven-baked sweet potato wedges can replace French fries, and air-fried chicken can mimic the crunch of fried chicken without the harmful fats. Making these swaps not only benefits your arteries but also reduces your intake of excess calories, helping maintain a healthy weight, another key factor in preventing circulation problems and necrosis. High-sodium foods, including packaged soups, instant noodles, canned meats, salted crackers, and chips, pose a significant threat to leg health through their impact on blood pressure. Sodium causes the body to retain water, increasing the volume of blood in circulation and thereby raising blood pressure. Chronic high blood pressure puts extra strain on artery walls, making them less elastic and more prone to damage. Over time, this damage allows cholesterol and other fatty substances to build up inside the vessel walls, narrowing the arteries in a process known as atherosclerosis. In seniors, whose arteries may already be narrowed and stiffened, excess sodium accelerates this process, further reducing blood flow to the legs and feet. Without adequate blood flow, tissues in the extremities become starved of oxygen, impairing their ability to heal from even minor injuries. If an infection develops and circulation is too poor to deliver enough white blood cells to fight it off, necrosis can occur. Many seniors are unaware that some of the highest sodium foods are not just salty snacks, but also everyday items like bread, cheese, salad dressings, and breakfast cereals. To reduce sodium intake, choose fresh or frozen vegetables instead of canned, or rinse canned vegetables and beans to wash away some of the salt. Opt for low-sodium or no-salt-added products whenever possible. Season foods with herbs, spices, garlic, or lemon juice instead of salt to add flavor without increasing blood pressure. By lowering sodium intake, you help preserve the elasticity of your arteries, protect circulation, and greatly reduce your risk of leg complications that could lead to necrosis. Packaged sweets and desserts, including cookies, candies, cakes, pies, and chocolate bars, are a dangerous combination of refined sugar, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives. Refined sugar spikes blood glucose, damaging small blood vessels and fueling inflammation throughout the body. Unhealthy fats, particularly trans fats and palm oil, raise LDL cholesterol and lower HDL cholesterol, contributing to plaque buildup in arteries. Artificial additives like food dyes and preservatives may also promote inflammation in sensitive individuals. For seniors, who often have slower metabolic rates and less physical activity, these high-calorie, nutrient-poor foods can lead to rapid weight gain, especially visceral fat around the abdomen. This type of fat releases inflammatory chemicals that further damage blood vessels. Over time, the constant assault of sugar spikes, bad fats, and inflammation narrows the arteries feeding the legs, making it harder for tissues to get the oxygen they need. Without adequate oxygen, even a small injury can become an ulcer, and ulcers in poorly supplied areas are a direct pathway to necrosis. Instead of packaged sweets, choose fresh fruit, which provides natural sugars along with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that protect vessel health. Dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa can be enjoyed in moderation, as it contains flavonoids that help arteries relax and improve circulation. For dessert cravings, try baked apples with cinnamon, frozen grapes, or a homemade fruit salad. These swaps satisfy your sweet tooth without accelerating artery damage. Reducing packaged sweets not only lowers your risk of necrosis but also supports better overall health, including reduced risk of heart attack, stroke, and kidney disease. Excessive alcohol consumption is a less obvious but equally dangerous factor for leg health. While moderate alcohol intake may offer some cardiovascular benefits for certain individuals, heavy or frequent drinking has the opposite effect. Alcohol raises blood pressure, disrupts the normal rhythm of the heart, and can lead to cardiomyopathy, a weakening of the heart muscle that reduces its ability to pump blood effectively. It also damages the liver, which plays a key role in regulating cholesterol and producing proteins that help blood clot. A damaged liver cannot manage these functions properly, leading to higher cholesterol levels and blood that is more prone to clotting. In seniors, this creates a perfect environment for blood clots to form in narrowed arteries, completely blocking blood flow to a section of the leg. When this happens, tissues can die within hours, leading to rapid-onset necrosis and, often, emergency amputation. Alcohol also dehydrates the body, thickening the blood and making it harder for it to flow through already narrow arteries. For seniors who take medications, alcohol can interact in dangerous ways, further increasing the risk of circulation problems. Protecting your leg health means limiting alcohol to safe levels, no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 for men, and ideally less for older adults due to slower metabolism. Alternating alcoholic drinks with water, choosing lower alcohol beverages, and setting alcohol-free days each week can help reduce overall intake. By keeping alcohol consumption in check, you protect your blood vessels, improve circulation, and reduce your risk of sudden and devastating leg complications. Maintaining leg health as you age is not about perfection but about making consistent, positive changes to your diet and lifestyle. Each of the 7 foods we have discussed, processed meats, sugary beverages, refined white bread and pastries, deep-fried foods, high-sodium foods, packaged sweets, and excessive alcohol, damages your arteries in its own way, but they share a common theme. They promote inflammation, raise harmful cholesterol, spike blood sugar, or raise blood pressure, all of which reduce blood flow to your legs. Over years, this silent damage can turn a small injury into a serious, life-altering case of necrosis. The good news is that by replacing these foods with healthier options, you can slow or even reverse some of this damage, improve circulation, and protect your independence. Your legs carry you through every step of life. Take care of them, and they will take care of you. If this information has been valuable to you, make sure to subscribe, like, and share so more people can protect their leg health and avoid the hidden dangers that lead to necrosis. When we look closely at the impact of these 7 foods, it becomes clear that the damage is not random, it follows a predictable chain reaction in the body. The first step is usually endothelial damage. The endothelium is the delicate inner lining of your arteries, responsible for keeping blood flowing smoothly and regulating dilation and constriction. When exposed to constant high blood pressure from sodium, toxic chemicals from processed meats, sugar spikes from refined carbs, or inflammatory compounds from fried foods, the endothelial cells become irritated and start to break down. This damage exposes the underlying layers of the artery wall, which are sticky and prone to trapping cholesterol and fats. Once fats and cholesterol start sticking, the body sends immune cells to the area to clean up the damage. But in an environment of constant inflammation, fueled by sugary drinks, packaged sweets, and bad fats, these immune cells get trapped and turn into foam cells, which build up into fatty streaks. Over time, fatty streaks grow into plaques that harden and narrow the arteries. In your legs, this is called peripheral artery disease, PAD, and it can cut blood flow by more than half without you even noticing in the early stages. The next phase is ischemia, when tissues in your legs or feet aren't getting enough oxygen. In this phase, you might feel leg cramps when walking, notice your feet are colder than usual, or see slower healing for small cuts. If the plaque ruptures or a blood clot forms, it can block blood flow completely to a part of your leg. This is when necrosis can set in rapidly, killing tissue within hours or days if circulation is not restored. For seniors, the risk is compounded because the body's repair systems are slower and less efficient. Nerve damage from diabetes can mean you don't even feel small wounds, allowing them to worsen unnoticed. Lower muscle mass in the legs means less pumping action to help blood return to the heart. Even dehydration, common in older adults, can thicken the blood and reduce flow through narrowed vessels. The encouraging news is that making dietary changes can interrupt this entire chain reaction. Removing artery-damaging foods from your diet allows the endothelium to start healing, inflammation levels to drop, and blood pressure to normalize. In some cases, plaques can stabilize or even regress slightly, improving circulation. For example, replacing processed meats with fatty fish not only removes harmful nitrates but also provides omega-3s that reduce inflammation and improve blood vessel flexibility. Swapping sugary drinks for water or herbal tea immediately lowers the frequency of blood sugar spikes, which protects capillaries in your legs. Choosing whole grains over white bread gives your body steady energy without the vascular damage caused by glucose surges. Lifestyle choices amplify these benefits. Daily walking, even for just 20 to 30 minutes, strengthens the calf muscles that act as natural pumps for blood return. Leg elevation for short periods throughout the day can help reduce swelling and improve circulation. Wearing supportive footwear prevents blisters and sores, and daily foot checks catch problems early before they can turn dangerous. Regular checkups with your doctor to monitor blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar ensure that any issues are addressed before they silently harm your circulation. Ultimately, protecting your legs from necrosis is not about a single magic food or supplement, it's about consistently choosing meals and habits that keep your arteries clean, your blood flowing freely, and your tissues nourished. Seniors who take these steps not only avoid the painful and life-altering consequences of necrosis but also enjoy greater energy, mobility, and independence well into their later years. The 7 foods we've discussed are common in many diets, but knowing their risks and replacing them with healthier options is one of the most powerful forms of prevention you can control starting today. And now, my friends, we've reached the end of this journey, a journey through 7 everyday foods that might seem harmless on your plate, but which, over time, can quietly attack your arteries, starve your leg tissues of oxygen, and set the stage for necrosis. This isn't just another list of bad foods, it's a warning backed by science, real-life cases, and the everyday reality seniors face when circulation health is ignored. Think about it, each bite you take is either medicine or poison for your body. When you fill your plate with processed meats, sugary drinks, refined carbs, fried foods, excess salt, packaged sweets, and too much alcohol, you're choosing to feed the very processes that block your blood vessels and suffocate your legs. And the scary part is, necrosis doesn't happen overnight, it creeps in silently. One day it's slower healing from a cut, the next day it's persistent swelling, and before you know it, tissue death is a real and dangerous threat. But here's the good news, knowledge is power, and action is freedom. By recognizing these risks, you've already taken the first and most important step toward protecting your legs, your mobility, and your independence. Change does not have to be overwhelming, it can start with one decision today. Swap that sugary drink for water. Replace processed meats with grilled chicken or fish. Choose brown bread instead of white. Skip the fries and go for a salad. Every single better choice you make today builds a stronger, healthier tomorrow. For seniors, your legs aren't just a part of your body, they are your freedom. They carry you to your loved ones, let you explore the world, and give you independence. Protecting them means protecting the quality of your life. Don't wait for pain, swelling, or sores to force you into change. Prevention is so much easier, cheaper, and far less painful than treatment after the damage is done. And remember, you're not alone in this. Millions of people are learning, adapting, and making better choices every day. You can be one of them. Share this knowledge with your friends, your family, and your community. You never know, a simple conversation might save someone from losing their mobility, or even their life. If you found this video helpful, informative, or even a little eye-opening, make sure to hit the like button, it tells us you want more life-changing health content. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because every week we bring you practical, science-backed advice designed to help seniors live stronger, healthier, and more active lives. Also, turn on that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your health is worth staying informed. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, share this video with them right now. Together, we can spread awareness and protect more people from preventable health dangers. Your health is your wealth, guard it fiercely, cherish it daily, and never stop learning how to improve it. Thank you for watching, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.